Okay, I'm back. Okay, I was making a video because RDK, right? Yeah, whatever. Um, Kennedy dude. He said that he doesn't know anybody with full blown autism in like past the age of 10. He's like, I know people in their 70s that was diagnosed with Asperger's, but not full-blown autism. So he said that if you have Asperger's, it's basically you had autism as a kid and it turned to Asperger's. Now, I say to him, first of all, where did you get your where you get your doctorate degree at? Because I know somebody that said that they went to college with you and you became a lawyer, and the only way that you got through law school was that booger sugar, that candy snow, that nose candy. I was gonna call it the other thing, but that's disrespectful. But yeah. And he even said it. He even said, yeah, the first 3 years of law school, I don't remember. Because I was on heroin. I don't say it like that. I say heroin. But it started out with the old nose candy, with the sniff here, sniff there, everywhere, sniff, sniff. And then it turned into, I do believe, smoking. I don't know. I'm not gonna say that's what's wrong with that man's voice. I'm just saying he got a smoker's throat, but I ain't making fun of his throat. I'm not. Like I said, it sounds like it. But I say this to say this. Am I mistaken? Or was it back in 1950? No, it would have had to be in the 50s. Closer to it would have been the 50s. That Rosemary Kennedy had not the vapor, she had hysteria. Rosemary Kennedy, Gary, John's little sister, she had the hysterics. And they put her in a mental hospital. They gave her a lobotomy. And she never was able to talk, to eat on her own. Because the Kennedy family gave this girl a lobotomy. Well, they didn't. They put her in a mental hospital because she had hysterics. Okay, first of all, the story that I heard, and I'm not a Kennedy, so I don't know the inside story. What happened was she fell in love with this man. He only wanted to be with her because of her last name. She found that out. He went and married somebody else. So she had the hysterics because she just had her heart broke. And because back in the days, women, they had to go to the hospital for the vapors. Just let it out. Just fart. Just fart. Oh, I'm about to faint. Well, undo your corset. Like, we don't need no faint couches. We don't need to take anything for the vapors. We don't need to get our uteruses removed because we have the hysterics. Or get a lobotomy because we got the hysterics. But I say this. The reason why older people was diagnosed with autism in later years, after living with said disorder on the very wide spectrum. Asperger's and autism is on the same spectrum. It's not the same thing. There's no one Pacific autism. There's no Pacific Asperger's. And the reason why they get diagnosed later in life, usually when they go to a nursing home, is because it's like, aka my van, it's like being left-handed in a right-handed world. Now, these people, these men or these women that are now getting diagnosed with Asperger's, with autism, in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, because they could not have autism and live in this world. Because if they shown, oh my gosh, my brain is different than everybody else's, then they would be put in a mental hospital and get medically practiced on. Oh, they couldn't get angry because something happened to them. They got the hysterics. Oh, remove her uterus. Oh, give her a lobotomy. Oh, you don't know how to spell as well as everybody else? Well, you're dumb. You can't live. Because I know this man got diagnosed with autism at 80 years old. And this man did 4 tours in the Army. Came home, started a business, ran his business until his wife died. Had kids. And found out that his IQ wasn't really that, it wasn't really up there. But guess what? I'm not saying that he was a dumb man. I'm saying if he was diagnosed with it younger than that, then he probably would be on the level of you really can't live by yourself. But he did. He lived by himself. He had a wife and kids, ran a business, did 4 tours in the U.S. Army. And this man had a very low IQ. So to JFK, I know it ain't JFK, or RDK, whatever. To him, tell that man that did 4 tours in the Army, tell that man that after the Army, I don't know if he got married to his wife or if they was married before he went over to the Army, but you tell that man that had a low IQ according to tests. I'm not saying that he did. But you tell that man that he is not autistic. You tell that man that he did not do 4 tours. Because according to JFK, kids with autism cannot hold a job, they can't live by themselves, they can't use the bathroom, and they don't know right from wrong. Okay, so that man didn't have kids? That man wasn't potty trained? That man didn't do 4 tours in the U.S. Army? That man didn't then come home and start a successful business and only got rid of said business because his wife died and he was grieving. So, RDK, like I said, if this man, because he's in his 80s, if he was tested for autism, for Asperger's, for anything on the spectrum, verbal and nonverbal, if he was tested, he would have been one of the people that y'all would have locked up because he can't live by himself, which he did. He's not potty trained, which he was. He can't hold a job, which he did. He did 4 tours in the U.S. Army and then came home and opened up his own business and had it for years. Him and his wife. What the fuck you mean he can't hold a job? You're right, he can't hold a job. He can own a business. He can run a business. You're right. You're right. He just held the job for 4 tours in the U.S. Army. You're right. He can't hold a job. He can hold a great career. You're right. You're right. I give you credit for that. He can't hold a job, but he can hold a career. Oh, he can't live by himself? Huh. Okay. Right. I don't know if how long he lived by himself after his wife died. Because I don't know when he went into the nursing home. Forrest Gump lived by himself. I'm just saying. That boy, like Forrest Gump, is based on a real little boy. But my point of it is, if we just gonna just Forrest Gump lived by himself. Forrest Gump went to war. I know, Gary. I know. Let me have it. Let me have it. Gary looked at me. He gave me the bombastic side eye. I seen it. So what do you say to it, Gary? What? Well, of course he's stupid. But it's just like... According to his own... He just... You know what, RDK? You know what? I'm gonna give you your own arsenic peel back. What? Okay, go sleep. When do you drop these off at? I mean, when? Okay. So I'm gonna give RDK his own peel back. Because according to RDK, he can't pay alimony or child support to his, I think it's his first wife. I don't know, it might have been his only wife. Anyways, he couldn't pay her child support or alimony because he had brain worms. So is RDK, is he autistic? Can he not live by himself? Because I don't know what brain worms do to you. But if brain worms is messing with your brain to where you can't pay alimony and child support, then that means you can't live by yourself. So if you can't live by yourself, what are you doing in government? Yeah, I know stupid is, stupid does, tweedledee, tweedledum, put you into office. But that was only because of your last name. You were literally living off of your daddy and your uncle's last name. Because if your daddy did not get killed, if your uncle did not get killed, you were not got to be in the office of these here United States. But because you're a Kennedy, because you are Bobby's son and John's nephew, then you got to be in the presidency office. Telling people, oh, don't get measles shots, and then kids are dying. You went over to an island, I do believe it was an island, where they don't associate with the outside. And you went over there and told them people not to get vaccinated. And half of the tribe died. Because I don't know if it was you or if it was them bringing something in. All I know is something came in that their bodies could not fight off. And you almost wiped out that whole tribe. Because you told them people not to get vaccinated. And because they didn't get vaccinated, maybe they were starting to interact with the outside world. So they needed to be vaccinated. Because it was no longer them. They were now interacting with the outside world. And then the outside world gave them something that they literally could not get rid of. And this ain't COVID. I ain't talking about COVID. This is before COVID. I'm just saying. Bobby, look, I know you trying to make everybody in this world, or not world, in these here United States, in territories, to have brain worms, to die, I guess. I don't know what you want. By you firing more than half of the FDA. Why would you do that? They expect our food, our water, our medicine. Making sure that everything is at a level that is not dangerous. You literally fired the Ebola team. They were not only working on Ebola things, they were working on other diseases. It was just called the Ebola team because that's when they got together, is when that outbreak of Ebola. And because when COVID came out, they started researching on that. No, they did not change the name of the team. It just transferred what they were doing. When monkeypox, measles, and mumps, rubella, tuberculosis, polio. I mean, polio and rickets and tuberculosis haven't been around. Measles. Like, I know some older people. Some people might have like resting measles in their body, like shingles. Okay. So yeah, but rickets and polio? When the last time have you heard somebody having some rickets and polio? Like what? What in the 1930s is going on? Rickets, polio, rubella? Or I think rubella is actually the flu. No, that's influenza. My bad. But anyway, I think rubella might be. Ain't that like scarlet fever? Or is that two different things? Gary does. He's asleep. I said I was going to sleep. My whole big old thing. My whole big old rant. You're not a doctor. You can't tell somebody that is on the spectrum because the spectrum is long, wide, and far between. And just because two people have autism does not mean that they are the same. Because it could be, I'm going to tell y'all, the very first movie that I have ever seen with Zac Efron, the very first movie, and I don't know if this was his first movie, but the very first movie I have ever seen of Zac Efron is when he was playing an autistic boy, and it was him and his twin brother, which I do believe is a true story. And the school tried to tell his mama, because I think his mama might have been a single mom, that him and his brother cannot come to the school because they STEM. At the time, they didn't say STEM. But at the time, they were like, oh, they act out. They don't play with the other kids. They don't talk to the other kids and all this. I now know, because I did research, I didn't know anything about nonverbal. And I got a brother that's on the spectrum. Actually, two brothers on the spectrum. But my biggest thing is, okay, I didn't know anything about nonverbal autism until, and I'm giving her a shout out because great mother. Single mom by choice, Boston girl. I forgot what the rest of her things is. Which, she's a single mom by choice. She was like, I want to have a baby. I don't want to wait to have a baby. So, I'm doing this. And she's doing it. And her daughter is very beautiful, healthy, learning. She's doing a great job while battling her own thing. Now, I'm not gonna talk too much about her, But like she has a channel. It's Boston Girl, and then I don't remember the rest of the things, but she's single mom by choice. And nope, she was not the first one. Sorry. No, well, okay, she was. Sorry, she was the first one that I ever heard of nonverbal autism. I then, because I knew she was a single mom, I don't know her personally. Like I said, I'm in Tennessee. She's in Boston. Never met her. But she was like one of the first people that messaged me on YouTube. The very first person that commented anything on my video. And that's not why I'm saying it. Like, I'm just saying. And at that time, her daughter was, I think, still under 1. Or she might have been just about to turn 1. Because the girls was 2. And, but yeah, so she, got the diagnosis of why her daughter wasn't talking and all that, and she came on. And she's like, yeah, I'm doing research because I don't know what this means. I don't know what this is, the nonverbal and all that. So I was like, oh my gosh, let me do research. Let me try to find some stuff that I could send her, because she's a single mom by choice. It's just her and her mama. I don't know if her daddy is still living, but I know at that specific time it was just her and her mama and her daughter. Because like I said, her daughter purposely does not have a father in the home because she's a single mom by choice. She chose to be a single mom. She went and got pregnant by herself. So, I'm just saying. So, it's not like, oh, the guy left her. No, she was never with the guy. She was never with him. But I went and did research, and that's when I found Father and Autism with Asa because of Abby. Abby was nonverbal, and I think they still consider her nonverbal. I think she might know like 1 or 2 words, or she might know a couple of words.
What's the life percentage?
58.
It's still charging.
Oh yeah. But what do you? No, because I just got that working. No, nobody's on the computer.
No, I'm not using it.
But yeah. So that's when I found out about nonverbal. And of course I sent her Father and Autism, like videos that I've seen. And and I was subscribed to their channel. And I didn't unsubscribe. I think I might still even be subscribed. But me stop watching their channel wasn't because I didn't like their channel. It's because I started watching other things and their videos got pushed farther and farther down. I can tell you around the time that I stopped watching Father and Autism, it was when Isaiah, when he went to college. And and at that time, my baby man, he's the oldest. So the oldest baby man was a junior at App State, and Isaiah was becoming a freshman at Appalachian State, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I messaged, like I sent them a message, and I was like, oh my gosh, tell Isaiah, which that's he's the oldest son of Father and Autism, of Asa and Priscilla. Tell Isaiah that my baby man, which I said his name, is on the football team. He's a junior. This is his name, and I think that they got to meet and all that. So I was like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. I never been to an App State. I mean, like he's been graduated for a couple of years, but I know that they went to some of Isaiah's games. And I think Isaiah might have been a red shirt for the first year. So when Isaiah did play, like his first year, I think it was my baby man's senior year. It might have been his junior and a half year. Because what happened was, around that time is when COVID hit. And so, yeah, he was a junior, and then he played, and then when COVID hit, they kind of like took a break. And then when they were able to play again, he, because the college was shut down and all that, he had to take his last two classes, and then he did another half of year. So, like his senior year, he did like a senior year and then half of a senior year. Do y'all not hear my voice? Do y'all not hear Roxanne trying to shut me up? You know what? I'm going to start calling Roxanne. You know what? Me talking about RDK's voice got my voice sounding like I got brain worms. Y'all hear that in my voice? The nerve of you fucking dentists in your throat. Do y'all hear it? Maybe I got brain worms. Maybe that's why I have a headache. Maybe. Maybe I got thyroid issues. I mean, I do. I take levothyroxine, but like, do y'all not hear this in my voice? Do y'all hear it? Okay, well, if y'all don't hear it, I can hear it. I sound like a frog. Or I sound like a horse. I got horsies. So, yeah. But, RDK, autism don't just have one face. It has multiple different faces. There's different people at different places on the spectrum. So just because you see somebody that you might think have autism, or you think somebody don't have autism, you never know unless the person tells you. All I'm saying is, you're gross, and stop trying to be a doctor when you don't have the training.